Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into something truly universal and absolutely crucial to our daily lives. We're talking about that profound connection between sleep, relaxation, and, overall well-being. Think of this deep dive as your shortcut, really, giving you the essential insights and the practical language to confidently talk about these really vital parts of life. Our mission today. Okay, it's to unpack some key insights and natural English phrases. These come from a guide designed to help you talk about sleep and relaxation, well, more easily. We're not just learning words here, we're really trying to arm you with the linguistic tools to truly understand and articulate your state of rest. Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine this for a second. You wake up tomorrow morning feeling genuinely refreshed, like full of energy, and with a calm mind, ready to actually express yourself in English about how fantastic you feel. That's the power we're tapping into today. It's not just vocabulary, but understanding how language helps us achieve and describe that amazing feeling of well-being.
Yeah, and what's particularly striking about this topic is just how universally relevant it is. Sleep and relaxation, they aren't just personal preferences, are they? They are fundamental pillars for our physical and mental health really across all cultures. The way we engage with these states, and crucially, our ability to articulate them, it profoundly shapes our overall quality of life. So having the language to discuss these core human needs isn't just about communication. It's really about empowering your own self-care.
That's such an important point. Yeah. And speaking of self-care and self-awareness, let's maybe start with a question. It's directly from our source material, and it encourages a little bit of introspection. So we're going to ask you, listening right now, how do you usually sleep? Do you often find yourself tossing and turning through the night? Or, do you tend to fall asleep pretty easily and stay that way? Just take a moment now to genuinely think about your own patterns. Those initial thoughts are actually incredibly insightful.
It's a really powerful starting point, isn't it? Because understanding how to describe these, well, very personal experiences of rest and waking, that's the first step toward improving them. Imagine if you could clearly tell a friend, or maybe even a doctor, in English, whether you're a toss and turner or someone who falls asleep easily,
Yeah.
that kind of specificity in language, it isn't just a nicety. It's actually a powerful tool for self-advocacy. And it's a stepping stone toward finding better rest. It's about building that self-awareness, not just through thinking about it, but through the precise words you can use.
You're absolutely right. You need the words. Once you're aware of your patterns, you need the language to describe them. So let's dive into some of that essential vocabulary the guide offers. These are kind of the building blocks for deeper conversations around sleep and rest. We've got terms like sleepy, drowsy, insomnia, nap, bedtime, relaxation, rest, and calm. Quite a few there.
And when we look closely, these words aren't just simple definitions. They actually describe well, a nuanced spectrum of human experience. Like, consider the subtle difference between sleepy and drowsy. Sleepy often suggests general tiredness, right? A natural signal from your body, maybe at the end of a long day, making you ready for bed. Drowsy, though? That can imply a heavier, almost half-asleep state, sometimes brought on by medication or illness, or maybe after a really heavy meal. It's a more immediate, perhaps even involuntary pull towards sleep. And similarly, relaxation is an active process of unwinding, like doing yoga or something, while rest is more the passive state of just not working. And calm, well, that's that peaceful mental state that often comes when you successfully integrate relaxation and rest into your life. They're all connected, definitely, but each has its own distinct shade of meaning.
That makes sense. And seeing these words used in context, that really helps cement them in your mind, doesn't it? The guide provides some excellent example sentences that, bring these terms to life, like, I feel sleepy after a long day. Pretty straightforward. Or, sometimes I take a short nap in the afternoon. And relaxation is important for my health. Or the more serious one, I have trouble sleeping because of insomnia. These are common everyday phrases you'll probably hear and use quite a bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, what's important to grasp here is that these simple phrases, they carry significant weight. Saying, I feel sleepy after a long day isn't just, stating the obvious. It's an acknowledgement of your body's natural need for recovery. But then, on the other hand, saying, I have trouble sleeping because of insomnia, that directly addresses a medical condition. It allows you to seek support or discuss it with others who might understand. And that phrase, relaxation is important for my health, well, that highlights a proactive, kind of mindful approach to well-being that's increasingly valued today. So yeah, these are more than just vocabulary. They're like doorways to expressing and managing fundamental aspects of your daily life.
Right. Okay, this brings us to a really fascinating part of the deep dive. How we actually talk about our daily sleep routines, it's where those individual words start to weave together into, natural conversations. The guide gives us a great little dialogue focusing on bedtime habits. Listen to this exchange. What time do you usually go to bed? I usually go to bed at 10 p.m. How about you?
Huh.
I like reading a book before sleep, so I go to bed around 11 p.m.
Hmm. That simple exchange, it actually reveals quite a lot about the ritual of sleep. A consistent bedtime routine, like reading a book, it acts as a really powerful signal to your body and mind that it's time to wind down. And this isn't just like an old habit people have. There's a good reason for it. Activities like reading can help detach your mind from the day's stresses, allowing you to gradually transition into a state that's, well, conducive to sleep. It's about creating this sort of psychological and physiological bridge between your active day and your restful night. And the precise timing often matters less, actually, than the consistency of that winding down process itself.
It's so true. That routine is key. But routines aren't just for the evening, are they? Our guide also touches on midday rest with this next little dialogue. Do
Yeah.
you take naps during the day? Yes, I take a short nap after lunch. It helps me feel refreshed.
Yeah, and this perfectly illustrates the immense value of, let's say, strategic napping for rejuvenation. Now, while a full siesta might not be practical for everyone, even a short power nap can significantly improve alertness, mood, and cognitive performance. It's not about being lazy. It's really a strategic energy boost. Different cultures approach midday rest in varied ways, sure, but the core benefit, that feeling of being refreshed, it's universal. It's a testament to how even brief periods of rest can break up fatigue and help you return to your day with, renewed focus. It's a skill worth cultivating, definitely, and the language lets you share that strategy.
Okay, so moving on from sleep itself, let's explore those incredibly important pathways to peace, relaxation techniques. The guide provides some excellent vocabulary and phrases that help us discuss how we actively manage stress and promote calm. We have things like meditation, deep breathing, stretching, calming music, and that wonderfully simple phrase, take it easy.
Right. These terms highlight a critical idea. Relaxation isn't just something that happens to you, it's something you actively do. These techniques are, well, proactive strategies for managing stress and cultivating well-being. Think of them as tools in your self-care toolkit that you can deploy really at any moment. Understanding these words empowers you to not only identify these techniques, but also to actively recommend them, practice them, or even, teach them to others. It's about consciously choosing to intervene in that stress response and guide yourself toward a state of calm.
And the guide gives us a clear dialogue showing these techniques in action. I feel stressed today. Try some deep breathing. It helps me relax. I'll try that. Maybe I'll listen to calming music too.
What's great about this exchange is how it simplifies these really powerful stress reduction strategies. Deep breathing, for instance, is far more than just taking air in and out. It can actually trigger your body's natural rest and digest system, which, helps slow your heart rate and lower blood pressure. The guide even offers a fundamental technique. Inhale, 2.3.4. Exhale, 2.3.4. Just that simple rhythm can bring immediate calm. And similarly, calming music isn't just background noise. It can psychologically soothe and distract from anxious thoughts, creating a kind of mental space for peace. Both are really accessible and incredibly effective tools for immediate relief.
Okay, so we've covered the direct language of sleep and relaxation, but what happens when we want to add a bit more character, a bit more flair to our conversations? English, like so many languages, is just rich with fun and expressive idioms related to sleep that really paint a vivid picture. What's one that you find particularly, I don't know, colorful or useful?
I'm always drawn to burning the midnight oil. It's such a fantastic historical reference, isn't it? You can just imagine a time before electricity where studying or working late meant literally keeping an oil lamp lit. It immediately communicates dedication, effort, and that familiar feeling of pushing past your normal sleep schedule. It's kind of a shortcut to a complex experience.
That's a great one, and it's so widely understood, too. The guide gives us a few more excellent examples. So let's look at three from our source material. First up, we've got hit the sack, which is just a really informal and common way to say go to bed, like this. Man, I'm exhausted after that hike. Time to hit the sack.
Yeah, I love how hit the sack conjures up that image of someone just collapsing onto a mattress, almost too tired to care about anything else.
Yeah,
A very relatable feeling for many, I think.
absolutely. Such a vivid picture. Okay, next we have sleep like a log, which, as you might guess, describes sleeping very, very deeply and soundly. Here's how you might use it. Despite the storm outside, I slept like a log last night.
That idiom is so clear because, well, a log is completely still and unmoving, right? It's a wonderful visual way to convey that profound, undisturbed sleep. It's definitely how you want to sleep after hitting the sack.
Exactly. And finally, building on your earlier point, burning the midnight oil. This one, as you said, means to stay up late working or studying, for example. I had to stay up late, burning the midnight oil to finish my presentation.
It's just a timeless image, isn't it? It connects the past to our present-day struggles with deadlines and work. These idioms, they don't just add flair, they offer these culturally resonant shortcuts, allowing us to express complex feelings and scenarios about rest and effort with just a simple, evocative phrase. They really make your English sound so much more natural and sophisticated.
Wow. Okay, we've really covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. Felt quite comprehensive. We started by exploring, your own relationship with rest, then dived into essential sleep vocabulary like sleepy and insomnia. We moved on to discussing how to talk about daily routines, from bedtime habits to the benefits of a midday nap. And we rounded it all off with those vital relaxation techniques like deep breathing and, of course, those wonderfully colorful English idioms like hit the sack and burning the midnight oil.
Yeah, and bringing all this together, it's worth considering that mastering these concepts and phrases is actually much more than just a language lesson. It's really about acquiring powerful tools for self-care and for confidence. When you can articulate your need for rest, or describe your sleep patterns accurately, or suggest an effective relaxation technique to someone, you're not merely speaking English. You're actively engaging with and sort of taking control of your personal well-being. This knowledge empowers you to not just understand, but also to actively participate in your own journey towards calm and confidence.
That's a really powerful takeaway. And remember, consistent practice, whether it's just reflecting on your sleep or integrating relaxation into your day, or maybe just trying out these new phrases in conversation, it all contributes. It contributes to a more confident and hopefully a more calm life. So keep practicing, keep learning, and you'll likely find yourself not only more fluent, but also maybe more centered and well-rested too.
Exactly. So, as you reflect on this deep dive and go about your day, maybe consider this question. How might genuinely understanding and actively using these newly acquired phrases about rest and relaxation, how might that not only elevate your English proficiency, but also profoundly reshape your daily experience of stress and calm, perhaps leading to a more mindful and impactful life?
Hmm.
Something to think about.